Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the members of Napalm. They have strapped on their armor and are casting the spells of awesome by supporting this channel every month. Thank you so much. And I think you are interested in becoming a member. You can do so by clicking join down below this video and pick a level that is right for you. And I would like to give a very special thank you to the Lords of Napalm. Bounty Code, Jared Woodhouse, Daimlos, Farthest Reach, Sparrow, Christopher Hensel, Random Rob, Kenneth Kramer, Zelic Lived, Rodden Your Mom, Greenhouse, Vander, and Galerain Moonsong. Thank you for your highest tier membership.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, he's not even ready yet, so I probably won't be able to. But if you want to go do that for the stream, feel free. I got like a third of a level this morning already. So if you'd like to do
what level
a dungeon,
are you?
66.
66.
I'm a third of the way in.
Okay.
You'd rather, he's not quite ready yet, but when he is, if you want to do that, feel free. Like, I'm good.
What's he even want to do? He didn't say, did he?
He didn't. No, just a dungeon.
Okay. Let me just head your way for now.
Okay.
And that zone, let me see where it's at.
It's right next to Shatra City.
Ah, I see. Okay.
To the west.
Alright, headed there. Hey, what's up, Wacky Data? How you doing, man?
Trying to see where we should start picking up quests. It's either...
Good morning.
Those are 65, 66. What are those? Yeah, kind of on the east side, I'm thinking. Where you're coming in. Probably a smart place. And you're coming from Shat? I can fly out that way.
Yes, I'm flying. Actually, I'm flying from the portal. But I'm gonna fly. It looks like, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna fly across Terrakar and then the Grand. I'm just flying straight.
I'm gonna get rid of these Terrakar forest quests.
Flying across Terrakar now. Oh, I need to fix my stupid frames. I forget about that every time because when I'm playing by myself, I crank up the frames and then I stream and it doesn't do it. And I still haven't found a solution to that.
Alright, just going through abandoning a bunch of quests.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do that too while I'm flying. That's a good idea. Mine's getting out of control.
Yeah.
Because now I've got quests in your lands. I just finished all the starter quests and moved on because I got to get rep in Darnassus for that mount I want.
Right.
So I have a bunch of quests from like level 5 quests and...
I wonder if I grab these, if I'll be able to share them instead of you having to fly out here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe. Yeah, I got a bunch of Teldrassil quests. Alright, flying past Shatrath now. Now I'm in the Grand.
Alright, let me see if I can share these.
Oh, let me invite you too so I can see where you're at.
Oh, right.
Yep, got that one.
Okay, another one.
Ooh, and the Grand is cool looking.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you get the Nessingwary Safari?
I got something. Let me see.
Okay.
Where's it at? The Grand, there we go. No, so far I've only got to do my eyes to see me. Maybe I was too far away though.
It says you're busy. Wonder. Yeah, it's just saying you're busy.
That's weird.
Okay. Let's see where you're at. Oh, you're right by a quest. Right there.
You've got that one? Okay. Grab it.
And that's cool. Yeah, you can see on your map which ones you need. I'll try sharing these again. Did that one work?
Yep.
And then one more.
Safari, the consortium needs you. Got that.
Excellent. And can you share out the one you just got?
Yep.
And then you probably want the flight.
I must have them. You don't have that one? I don't know which one I just picked up. Do you have one called I must have them?
Oops. Can you share that again?
Yep.
I hit a button as soon as. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So
All right. I have them all around here.
Okay.
So you want the flight?
Oh yeah. Let me go get that.
Yeah.
Is it inside the building?
I don't think so. I think it was out.
Oh, it's up on the top. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I really like this one. This is freaking cool.
It's my favorite looking. Alright, so we got little bags all around here now.
What are
Boulder
sad sound
fist
sprinkles?
plans. Your elemental gas. Alright. Guess we'll go down, see what we can see. Oh dang it, I can't skin these. Now, if it's a bag, is that a kill quest? Think these guys? No? Bags are usually dropped, right? Like
Yeah.
dropped off of mobs?
Yeah. Maybe these guys? Yeah, here we go. Air elemental gas from this Storm Rager here.
Alright.
I like the tall grass here. Very cool.
Yeah, it's got that cool African plains
Yeah.
kind of feel. Yeah,
I don't
me
think
too.
I've ever been here before.
Oh.
Because, you know, normally, even back in the day, when you would level up, you wouldn't make it this far in TBC before you were already done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't know how good the questing is in this zone, but it definitely is pretty.
Yeah. It's worth it sometimes if it's pretty.
There's one, I think.
Good fantasy vibes here.
Mm-hmm.
What's example? Gazelle here. Good for lunch later.
Yummy. Steaks, a gazelle steaks.
Yeah. You like a lion?
They just make such sad sounds when they die. We don't need the rumbler. I'll follow you, so we're going in the same direction.
I'm gonna hop on a mount, the ground mount.
Okay.
Just because we get that speed buff. Let's see. Oh, we need them too. We kill them, and
Ooh, nice.
just in case the other things get a repop behind us.
Had a lot of fun last night on the grading stream. I felt like that went really well. ESO did a lot better in the grades than I thought it would.
Yeah, yeah. Man,
I mean,
just-
I like it.
It haunts me, though, about the there. Man, I just thought Derek would love that lore, man. That really haunts me that, like, he didn't get to play the game in a way that he got to see that. You know what I mean? You could tell from his
Yeah.
reaction. It was like, oh, that's technically not true, but from your perspective, like...
From your
you know,
perspective, right. And how
uh,
they played it in very much just a dungeony.
Yeah.
He didn't...
He didn't
When
get
we
to
do
see
the
it.
101, we don't play naturally.
Right.
Right? We're
Yeah.
very much like, we group up, we level, we see certain things, but we don't see all the things.
Yeah, we just see.
There's a-
We just see like the whatever the game is, whatever we decide is the best avenue for grouping.
Yeah, for grouping,
Yeah.
right.
So it is a very like man, because when he gave his review on the lore, it was scathing, you know, and it was like, oh
Yeah.
gosh, and everybody else, you know what I mean, was like, oh, the lore's so great, and that's the best part of the game. So he didn't get to see it at all. Man, that bothers me, because
Right.
we've known we were gonna play ESO since we started this show, so it's been years that I've been playing, you know, casually ESO, and so many times like, dude, Derek's gonna freaking love the lore in this game. And then he did it because he didn't get to see how cool it was.
Right, because he played it like an MMO instead
Yeah.
of an RPG.
Yep.
Which, sure,
he,
it gets...
he may not have liked it anyway, you know, but I would have loved to have seen his real impression of it, you know.
Yeah.
He didn't like it. He really didn't enjoy it, so he'll probably never play that game ever again.
From a dungeon perspective, I could see that, because you can't sit and
Yeah.
enjoy the story.
Yeah, those are not the, you know, like...
That's not the lore.
No, that's like little one-shot stories they threw in to give the dungeons a reason to exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is not the way the game normally is. With
Like
story.
doing the story right from when you make your character, you go into Cold Harbor and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, then you meet the prophet.
I even like
and-
how they start that story where like you go meet the guy, remember, and he's like all tied up, and then they knock you out and drag
Yeah.
you in and sacrifice you, and it's really good.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's see if there's some more of those giants down this way.
But if you're coming
Oh.
in to play it like an
The
MMO,
mage just come in. Let me invite Aaron Dial. Almost missed that. Oh, hang on. Let me tell him we're rat in voice chat.
Here.
ERMP.
oh dear. I think that guy was waiting for that named.
Uh-oh. Sorry. I hope
we
he hit
take
it
it?
first. I can help him kill. I hope they hit it. I just happen to land here.
Can we invite that person
Oh, I feel
real
bad.
quick?
Yeah, invite him. Yeah. What's his name?
Invite. Where is it?
Slash invite. What's their name? Shoot. They're moving.
Nalaeri.
Oh no, it's not too late, is it? Nah, it's too late. He's already sat down.
Hopefully he can talk to him.
Sorry, dude. I didn't even know that mob was there. It's just where I landed.
Yeah, yeah. Total accident. I don't mind if he wants to start a call or something.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I like to be able to hear them. Let's see. Looking for more of those air things.
There's got to be a better spot for it because they are all over the map.
They're probably just really spread out.
Do you see
Dust Tower, is it?
that southwestern, the southwestern area? I feel like, oh, that might have been water elementals actually.
I think you can kill any kind of elemental, maybe. This wasn't the one kind we were killing earlier. What was it? Dust Tower? Is that what it was? I feel like this is a different kind. Maybe not. Can't kill the earth spirits, so they don't count.
Well, let's try that kind of southwest.
Okay.
Oshogun.
Okay.
Head that way, maybe. Well, this is cool looking.
Yeah.
Place looks elemental.
I really like this zone a lot. No, Grando Reaper, we're not on PvP, so we're on a PvE. We're playing on Pagel.
Anything? No. I'd say for questing, it probably isn't a great zone. Everything feels very spread out.
Yeah, I'm still okay with it. It's so cool looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes places look so cool that I'm like okay with it not being optimized, you know?
There we go. There's one.
So the cyclone? Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So it looks like any of the elementals that are windy looking.
Yeah.
Drop it. Dang. Kicked his butt. Man, that is a big old cleft hoof.
Yeah.
Aged. I remember those Alex. I remember people riding on them, right? Isn't that the one where you can get the merchant? Isn't that an Alec that it's on, maybe?
The Draenei have something like an elephant.
Yeah, that's what the Alec looks like. Void spawn, nope.
Ooh, there's a named.
Okay.
Dern the Hungerer.
What's he? Think we take him? 67.
He's elite.
There's 3 of us, though. What do you think?
Maybe.
Let's take
He's surround. Oh, there's a cyclone.
Okay, let's get the quest.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Darn the Hungerer, son of Gruul.
He's in the fridge. What's this? Leather. No.
He is for a quest, somebody said.
Oh, okay. Well, there's another named Banthar. You want to try him?
Okay. Ooh, he's a big boy too. Oh, I feel bad killing him. He looks cool.
All right. Well, there's another cyclone.
He looks like he's a good, nice old granddaddy cleft hoof. Well, he doesn't have cleft hoof. By accident, that was an accident. Stepped in my pally juice.
I need a
What's
target.
this?
I can't carry any more of those.
Is he
Oh.
Can't
aggressive?
carry any more of those.
There's a
He is
quest called
red.
Howling Wind in your bag, probably. Like if you
I
loot
can't
it,
carry any
Okay.
more of those.
it looks like kind of a face.
I can't carry
Weird.
any more of those.
Why can't I?
Scary
Oh,
face.
because it's a quest item. All right, yeah. Let's do
Yeah.
that. It kind of looks like the Lich King.
Yeah.
Find someone with the throne of elements that knows how to speak Kalamag and show him the Howling Wind. Okay.
Okay. Hmm. I guess we did find some.
I'm gonna spin up a
wind.
call. I can't stand not hearing Renfo
Oh, is he?
because he's in
We
the
missed-
group, but like I can't even hear him.
Sure.
Let me find our WoW group. Here we go.
Cyclones, nice. Oh, you found a bunch.
Hey, there's Renfo.
Hello.
It was too weird not hearing you and playing. with you. It was just too weird, Renfo.
Nice. There's another one over here if you need them.
Yep, I need one more. It looks like of the gases. There's a quest to take him down. My chat says that big guy, but he doesn't drop anything worthwhile.
Oh, okay. I vaguely remember a quest to kill all the different names, or maybe it was an achievement.
Doing that.
I remember looking for them.
Yeah, maybe it was an achievement. There's a. Forgot to loot him.
Alright, so that's done for you as well.
Yep.
The boulder plan, we have to go kill those, what were they? Ogres or something? Back
Yeah,
near the
so it's
hand
them
in?
over here. Boulder fist plans.
Yeah.
Okay. Ring of Blood. What is that, Tippy? Sounds familiar, but I don't remember what it is.
Is that one of the ring events in this zone?
Must be.
If so, we haven't.
Just
No, we-
realized I've been muted this whole time.
Oh, hey, what's up, Renfo?
I had muted myself because I was eating breakfast and forgot. It's a ring event. You need a full group. It's a really badass weapon. It's worth doing if we could get a couple more DPS to do it with
Oh.
us.
Okay.
But it'll take, it's probably, I think it's like 15 minutes to do, maybe 20 minutes.
I feel like it's one of the coolest zones I've ever seen in this game.
This is where Joey and I have been questing nonstop now because this is the favorite. This is the coolest looking place I've seen so far.
Yeah, that's what I feel
Mhm.
like too. So cool and unique, but also fantasy, like original kind of feel fantasy. I love it. This is cool.
Yeah, it's my favorite in this.
I can't wait for Grizzly Hills.
Expansion.
Everybody's always going on about. I don't know if I've been there, but you know, it's just different when you play in retail and you just absolutely raffle stomping everything, you know, compared to doing it in when it's relevant. So I'm pretty excited about Grizzly Hills. All right, wasn't paying attention where I was going. Let's see, where is he? Yeah, this is a zone I can just like fly around just to look at for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
There they are. And these models, these are the ogres, right? Because the Ettins look similar. They have two heads.
We got our plans.
Alright, cool.
We got 2 hand-ins, son.
Alright, they're nearby too, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know yesterday how to leave Darnassus to get into the regular part of that zone, you know what I mean? I've never had to do that before. It took me like 30 minutes yesterday, but I was getting mad. I was like, how do you leave this stupid elfin city? Why do the elves have to build stuff like this?
Little pink portal.
No, I found the pink portal. I couldn't figure out how to like to go out in the regular part, like towards the newbie area. You know what I mean? I finally figured out you run through the Warriors Terrace, but like it took me forever. I was literally complaining about elves the entire time. Like, stupid elves! They gotta build everything so crazy.
Okay, so this is totally cheating. I'm gonna try not to cheat first. See if I can use the thing he... Jumpatron?
The Jumpatron.
Jumpatron. Which I totally am awful at jumping things.
What?
Oh, is it in my bag? Where is this jumpy thing?
Butterfish plans. Click to read.
No, it's
that's
Jumpatron
the
or
things.
something.
I don't see that.
Well, I would if I could find it in my bag.
You look at the log. Which quest is it?
Bring me the egg?
Use the jump shot 4000 to get to the nest and nearby trees to the mysterious egg.
Yeah. I mean, I can just get the egg because I can fly.
To it, yeah.
I was going to try and not cheat. Use the Jumpatron 4000. Where is it?
I'm just going to cheat. It does count it. It does count it if you cheat. Did it give it to you
it's
too?
this darn thing.
You found it? Well, try it out.
It's this
I wanna
red
see it.
thing. Okay.
Whoa! How far up did you go?
Kitty form! Kitty form!
What's it look like?
It's
in your
horrible.
inventory?
It doesn't. You click that red, the red mat.
The red mat.
The red jump trampoline. Right here.
Oh, it's on the world. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But there's like no controlling it. It's so crazy.
I feel like that guy from Morrowind who gets that jump spell and you just see him crash and die in the forest.
See, it just shoots you up. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Big bird. Big mean bird.
Okay, forget it. You can't control it.
Yeah, that'd be hard. You'd have to aim in advance to get to the egg. You know what I mean? You'd have to like line it up in advance.
Alright. There was something else about killing something, but I don't see it.
Tippy says that ring quest also gives a ton of somebody requested to join. They might need this mob.
Oh, the
tons of
matron.
experience too.
You guys are fighting. I'm reading quests. Yay!
Yo! Hurry back!
All right. Gotta turn in over here as well.
Me?
Mark says it.
I love all the
only gets better from here,
waterfalls.
too.
Yeah.
One wishes to you.
I mean, the Nether Storm zone is not pretty, but it's very cool. Like, it's this alien on the moon feeling. It's
What area?
Yeah, those are all the dungeons I just ran this morning to get my heroic faction. Got my key to Alcatraz and wrapped all that up.
Nether Storm. Kind of north of us. Congrats on getting your keys.
Yeah, I'm now finished. I'm completely keyed for all heroics on the Death Knight now.
Cool.
With those space goat zone dungeons, it's really cool because it's like they're all like these floating platforms that you go up to, but it's all science fiction-y.
Goblins or gnomes built it, I assume. Or no, I guess not.
Yeah,
not on
it's
this
space
planet.
goats.
Yeah, space goats.
No, it's all the
built
space
it.
goats.
Watch the horde area. Wanna get knocked out of the sky.
See, my PvP brain tells me that we should be able to take over that fort, and since there's no horde hardly on this server, they shouldn't have any forts.
Alright, I got following you. I'll be right back.
Alright. Yeah, Jason says, or Mugen says, the trampoline quest sucks. Cheating is the way to go.
I just wanted to see it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was horrible. You couldn't control it at all.
Hey, doesn't this
Be
character right here come back and you do a bunch of quests for him in like BFA?
How are you?
Nessingwary. Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, like he's like ends up as part of like this like hunting group or something.
Right.
I thought. Ooh, now there's the
Keep your
Kleptos.
feet on the ground.
Yeah, and wind rocks. So cleft hook and wind rocks. Oh, there's a third one here. I missed.
This guy's
What can I do
sleeping
for
down
you?
here.
Talbuk. Kill 12 Talbuk stags. There we go. Let's kill all the stuff in the
We
area.
got stuff all over near us. Mostly
Oh, I
already
can
dead.
repair here if you need to repair.
Oh wait, I missed a quest. It says I did, but I don't think I actually did.
There's a guy laying on the ground.
Yeah, I got
Did you get
him,
that one?
Yeah. I think it's just.
So there should be 3.
mistaken. My questie still shows a exclamation point. I need to update though. It's literally telling me that my questie's outdated.
Oh, okay. Right. Headed over here.
Yeah, just looking for. Somebody's already out hunting. I think they've already killed everything. There's a wind drop.
Yeah.
They're running. They got it. Let's try to get away from them.
Oh, here's a stag.
Oh, there. Mark says that guy's from Stranglethorn Vale. That's probably where I saw.
Mm. I'm sure he's gonna go pull all of them. Yep, all of them.
It's a wind rock.
Yep.
Killing these wise owls.
Yeah. Ren's got that nice range.
Yeah. Are you still gonna take your mage all the way up? So close now.
Like half a yeah. That's why I was like, let's run some dungeons.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I'll ding
jealous.
70 in a bit.
Everybody.
I wish.
A mage is always. There's never enough mages for raids. No doubt he'll come in handy for many a thing.
I made this hair appointment weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So. Is that you? Yes. Is.
I've got it. Not soon, but after. Sometime this afternoon, I've got to clean my office. It's getting a little wild up at my desk.
Yeah, my laptop needs to be dusted because the fan is like kicking into overdrive because I haven't used the air can on it in a while. I clean the fans out. That's a today thing.
We try to recycle all my cans, so like, you know, I want them to be drained before I, send them off to the recycling, but like, so I just leave them on my desk until I like completely drain them, you know what I mean? It gets wild, dude. It gets, I'd say there's probably
Aspen gold table.
50 cans on the side desk here, which that's all this side desk is for holding the cans till I drain them to recycle them. But it's getting a little crazy. It's getting out of control. I gotta get rid of it. It's driving me nuts. I start feeling constricted, you know? Like I can't like sling
There
my
you go.
arms around or nothing.
Did you guys get that update?
Don't know if we did or not. What was it for?
The wind rocks?
Yeah.
Got
Did
12.
then. It looks like
Yeah,
there's
I've done all
something.
those.
Cleft hoofs should be down here.
Yeah, I'm on the third step of those, which is the named.
Oh, you're on the name, the big grizzly.
Oh yeah, but it's a
ram.
long ways down the road. Yeah, it's a long ways down the road for you guys.
We seen him. I felt bad. We thought about killing him just because he was named, but I felt bad because he looked like a nice old granddaddy buffalo.
His meat was a little stringy. You guys need these too? Looks like, yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I need to get closer. I'd still rejoice.
Not gonna lie, if World of Warcraft, which I get it, I'm not saying they should change it. I think it works well for what they got going on. I'm just saying, in theory, if this was a public dungeon game, it'd be my favorite MMO of all time, maybe.
It is inching its
Wow.
way up there towards my number one favorite, which is Lotro.
Yeah.
The
it's
only
good.
reason Lotro has it beat right now is because the storyline is way better in Lotro and it
Oh,
has way
yeah.
better like lore quests.
Yeah,
Dialogue.
you can't. Nobody can possibly compete. By the way, with
Story-wise.
with the lore that Lord of the Rings got going for it. You know what has me interested? I watched the Lazy Peon went and tried out Neverwinter, and apparently they made some big changes in that game.
I saw the same video,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be putting it on the Xbox this weekend.
Yeah, I was like, man, I may try it now because it's way more D&D now, like max level 20.
I haven't tried it. I think it's been 4 years since the last time I tried it.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. And
Here's
I
some
did
goats.
not like it last time I tried it.
No, I've tried it 2 times over the years and couldn't get past the moronic combat.
It's too bad too because like it has all those official 5th edition campaigns.
Were
like,
you here when we were talking about this last night?
Yeah,
or was that a
yeah.
different
That's
group?
why I
Okay.
watched the video because we were talking about it and I saw that video. I was like, oh, let's see what's going on with this. My game's a little loud. Okay, let me fix that.
Yeah, when we're just playing, we turn everything up because it sounds so good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I crank everything up when I'm not streaming.
Which direction you want to go?
Let's keep heading to the east here.
Alright, countdown's on for me. I got about 15 minutes.
All right.
So jealous. All I want to do is play. Maybe I'll take Mujin's idea and let Bounty Code just do my hair.
Yeah, what you gotta
There you
do
go.
is you gotta send Bounty to school for what's that called? Cosmetology. right?
Cosmetology.
Then you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
That's what we did with Winter. She was like, I'd kind of like to go to cosmetology. I was like, that sounds like a great idea. It's a good investment. We'll never have to pay for haircuts again. So we did.
Great idea.
I don't know if we've broke even on that deal yet or not, but
Oh, more goats.
It's too far away.
good morning, Tactical Beans. Do you have a favorite MMO right now? Yeah, so yeah, this would be good for all of us to talk about. Wicked Pawn Studios is asking, do I have a favorite MMO right now? Out of the ones I'm playing, and out of the ones I'm playing right now, this is my favorite. I'm having the most fun with WoW Classic.
Yep.
I'm most excited about it. Now, for us, it's different than most people because we're not playing it for nostalgia. Well, Sparrow is, actually.
Yeah.
Me and Renfell, it's kind of just new content. Like, sure, through the years, I've ran through multiple characters, but it was like, I didn't get to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, like, barreling through at the speed of light on retail.
The only thing I've ever done is I've dabbled twice in retail, and each time it's never been more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's
So
usually
it's
how I am
resolved.
too. It'll be a good
Yeah.
2, maybe a month for like a new expansion where I'll just barrel through the casual content of the overworld. And I didn't start doing that until maybe Legion, I think. And Legion was really cool, by the way. I really liked that whole storyline, everything. But I never did the dungeons, or sometimes you have to, you know? Like, I remember in Legion, each zone you had to do one dungeon. So I literally did that dungeon one time because you had to. But I've never played WoW like this, and Classic is just freaking a dream come true.
Yep.
I need to get
Love it.
It did a lot of things right, and it captured me for many years. And I did more of the questing and duoing type stuff. I didn't do a lot of dungeoning or raids, so that is new for me. Is this the
So-
horde?
On a side note, what things did it do wrong for you?
Good question.
Because I look at this game and I always hear people say it did all these things right. But the question is always like, well, if it did all of these things right, why don't people want to see those things in other games anymore? I often see the same argument.
I think
being
the
made, like,
problem
I did all
is
these things right, but I would hate it if,
Yeah,
for example, I would hate it if this game did what WoW did.
it's a good point.
The
But
quests
if-
hubs, like the fact that it's leveling by quest only mostly instead of exploration and dungeons and things. I think for me, it's less grouped content. You don't really have to do this stuff in a group. I think that's what it's missing for me.
Okay, but I would argue that if you chose to just go run dungeons, there's like 15 dungeons, and you get pretty good XP just grinding mobs. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm trying to play devil's
I get
advocate
bored
here.
with that. I get bored with that. And with the dungeon finder, that kind of, which you haven't experienced yet, where it's just jump in, do it.
I have.
I thought they didn't have it on here.
Star Wars Old Republic.
No, I mean on here, where
Well,
you
it's the
just
same in every game.
where you just jump in and you get anyone from any server. There's no conversation. It's just in out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Star Wars
Right.
Old Republic. It's the same exact.
Okay. That's what I don't like about retail, probably. What they did wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Tactical.
We have those.
So right now, without the dungeon finder, this is pretty much perfection outside of Quest Hub grind.
Yeah, my only thing, if I had to say what would make it perfect for me, right? Like, not for everybody, not for the masses, but for me, the only thing I would change about the game is if it also had some big, explorable, difficult, public dungeons. 'Cause I just think there's something magical about that.
Someone was telling me the other day that technically it does have those.
It does, because it has the little, but I mean, I wouldn't say they're massive, and I wouldn't say they're explorable, but it does have those random little caves
Outdoor.
and things like that. Yeah, but that,
Yeah.
and I do enjoy those actually, but they're kind of copy paste. There's like a few designs that are used over and over for them, and so you kind of learn the layout of each one, and then that is what it is, I think the exploration of a public dungeon, that's just something super magical to me. Or, and plus it being really difficult, and that's the only thing I would add to the game. Besides that, and I'm not saying take away the instance dungeons, I'm just saying it'd be cool if there was like one big old public dungeon per zone. Like, how sweet would that be?
That would be
Why
cool.
do you prefer public dungeons?
It's the adventure of that anything could happen, right? It feels more MMO to me, where it's like, hey, if we all wipe, maybe there'll be a healer come by that can heal us. Or I love being, because I class fantasy paladin, right? So I love running through public dungeons, seeing a group in trouble, and just stopping, healing them for a while, and they're good. Or they got somebody dead, and I can res them on my way through. I just love all the interactions that can take place while
So
people
out of curiosity,
yeah.
because we did that yesterday. Essentially, what we were doing with those public events was that yesterday.
Sure.
And yet we
Sort
all
of.
complained about.
Till we
the
rated
fact
up.
that-
That's because we were questing. I'm talking about a public dungeon where you're just there for XP. You know what I'm saying? We were trying to get drops and stuff, and so we weren't getting any progress. That's very different, I feel like, than just romping through a dungeon, killing stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You run
And I
into-
thought it was cool once we all grouped up and made a raid out of it and figured out how to play together. If it had
But
more of that
we still
mentality
couldn't,
instead of
though. We still couldn't.
Instead of-
we were maxed at 20 people raids, and there was like 60 people per.
Yeah.
So you're still. We were all complaining the entire time about the other raid groups dropping AOE's and taking all the mobs and all the credit.
right. So what
my
they did
question
wrong.
is, how
Well,
do
you
we-
notice I wasn't actually complaining about it. I was just like, well, it is what it is, like.
Well, because as
it
far
did-
as I'm aware, retail got rid of that because
Yeah.
everybody gets credit
Yeah.
when you tag a mob
I'm
now.
sure, yeah. As long as
Right,
you
I
hit
so
think,
it,
you're-
doesn't
I
ESO
think.
do it that way too?
ESO, yep. As long as you hit it, yeah. And that's why they did stuff like that, was because those problems. But I
So open
don't
world
mind
dungeons.
that, though. That doesn't bother me. That's part of the gameplay loop to me. Like, if a place is camped, right? If you go to a dungeon and it's camped, it's a public dungeon, just go somewhere else, That's the way the game is designed. I think it's cool. Like, I really miss those days where I would go in a public dungeon like a Friday night on a popular server, and there'd be people everywhere. Like, everything was camped. Like, even though that means I can't camp there, that just feels like, man, this game is hopping. Look at all these people having a good time. You know, like, I like it.
Why can't you have that and still do the multi-group tagging? Like, why can't you do that? Because you.
I mean, I
from what
didn't
I'm
say you
hearing, it's
couldn't.
like-
I didn't say you couldn't.
Well,
There's
that's
just
why I'm
no public
questioning that.
dungeons at all.
Because I'm thinking ESO and retail.
Yeah.
WoW.
And I
if
brag
they
about
did
ESO
big
all the
open-
time. Yep.
If they did big open dungeons where everyone could go,
Yep.
and everyone gets credit because it's multi-tagging, that sounds like the perfect MMORPG.
It sounds like it, yeah. And I don't know in theory, but like ESO's public dungeons, I always brag about it because a lot of people don't realize like it does have those, and they're they're not the coolest dungeon design ever, but some of them are pretty cool. And there's a ton of them, you know. So I think ESO, I do enjoy that part of it. The only thing is
Okay.
they kind of changed it to where that's really crappy XP now. So I think people only do it for a quest that takes them in there, or to get the because each dungeon has a what are they called, Sparrow? Things you collect, the shards, and every 3 you get a skill point.
Oh, the sky shards.
Sky shards. There's a sky shard in each public dungeon. So people go down and try to get those, and there'll be quests that take you down in there. And then I think that's. But back in the day, people went in public dungeons would just grind, you know. And so it had the content that I like. But it's not
Well,
for
I'm
everybody.
just curious because it sounds like if a game would design big open zones, big open dungeons, with
The lower gut feeling, yeah.
same, and
I
this is
agree,
why I'm
Mark.
kind of coming back
About
to
the slice
retail
pizza.
has all of that, ESO has all that, but why?
Yeah, Black Ark Depths or
like,
something, yeah.
is it the dungeon finder that drives people away from World of
Mostly
Warcraft?
for me, yeah.
Because retail has big open zones with shareable mobs, and you could choose how you want to. That's the one thing I've been learning about World of Warcraft is like you literally can, however you want to play, you can play. It's got all these different modes that are for every single person under the sun.
Mm-hmm. Does it have public dungeons? Like,
Well, I think for me that would be the one thing it doesn't have is public dungeons, but I think one could also argue that big open zones like this, theoretically,
and I love it,
I'm not-
yeah.
I'm not saying that they are, but theoretically, one could classify these massive zones as open dungeons in the sense
Yeah.
that it's big open space. All these people can go and do things together.
And I think that is one of the reasons why I've always been able to have some fun with Classic. I've never been able to take this seriously because I didn't have a group of people to play with, but I always enjoyed Classic because of that. Like, it is viable to just go out in the open world and kill stuff for XP. You can do that, like, with the speedrunners, that's what they were doing back when
yeah, just
Classic.
AoE and stuff down.
Yeah, they were just killing stuff as quick as they could to get to max level as quick as possible. And I think, what I don't understand is why so many MMOs think that's, like, they don't want that to even be an option anymore, you know? So many MMOs are, like, taking that away, like, you don't get good enough XP to just go grind. Like, why take away a feature? I don't understand that. Like, I know it's not for everybody, but why not allow it for people who do like to just go out and kill stuff, you know?
The chat's giving me a couple of additional things that they don't like about retail, such as the homogenization of all the classes.
Yeah, yep.
So I mean that's
It's the pace too. Tactical's saying it in mine. For me, it's the pace. The pace is so fast, and so everything just feels so not important, and just like it's just so quick that it's like an easy that it's just not fun anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. There's no challenge at all. It doesn't. Now you can get to challenging content, but that's kind of something we were talking about in ESO last night, which is I don't understand why I only can be challenged at end game. Like I want there to be a little bit like Classic. This has challenge. Like if we can die, you know, if we don't pay attention, etc. Even out here with this easier content, there is.
Did you guys do
a flat
EQ2
challenge.
with the MMO group?
We did, and we loved it. We all loved it.
Because that's the one thing I think the EQ2 did better than any other MMORPG is they have raids and challenging content from
Yes.
like level 20 upwards. Like there's not just you can only raid at level 20. It's like no, There's a raid for level 30. There's a raid for level 40. There's a raid for level 50. There's
Yep.
2 group content, 3 group content, 4 group content, all the way throughout the game, as opposed to only at the cap.
I agree. That makes things really exciting for a low-level player, too, leveling up and being like, hey, you know, we got enough of us at 20 now, let's go do this thing, you know? That's cool. And that's a good way to train you as you're leveling up for by the time you get to in-game with how to raid, you know what I mean? Because you've already been doing lower tiers of it.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna port back because I have to head out.
I'll just leave the quest where it's at then, since
Oh, you don't have to do that. It's fine.
what do you
Or
what
are
did
you
wanna
doing
do,
your
Rambo?
dungeon?
Maybe, I don't know.
See if there's other people who want to do a dungeon.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you guys have a great day.
All right, you too.
You too, have fun. You already typed it up before I did. Yes, band-aids. Well, you can definitely grab ire.
Leveling's not part of the
That's
content
Crinkle's
retail anymore. It's very
character.
true. MMOs now dictate your login rate and what you do instead of make you want to log in because the game is fun. Yeah. I think people are so used to those small and often dopamine hits compared to larger but less often ones. Very, very true too. Yeah, it's not about the journey. And I enjoyed the journey.
Alright, Dathrook can heal.
Alright, cool.
It should have forwarded the invites to you. And then Scudgar.
Oh, I see.
You'll need to boot Sparrow before you
Yeah.
can invite Scudgar.
Right, yep. Let me see how to do that. Uninvite?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. And who's the last one? Scudgar?
Oh,
There
Dathrook.
it is.
Dathrook has to switch, apparently.
Oh. Let me take him out then. Yeah, and I kind of, you know, I think what retail did was they just got too analytical on what was fun. You know what I mean?
Well,
like they were looking
This
at
comes
data.
back to, yeah, that's someone made that comment about Diablo Immortal. They said it was literally as if a machine had spun out the perfect monetization method from an analytical standpoint, and then they built a game around that.
And
which is
it
actually
wouldn't shock me
brilliant.
if that is what they did. They built
It's
an algorithm.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like they've done with the retail. But the problem was that the things that the algorithm said must be the most fun because this is what people are doing. People maybe weren't doing that because it was fun. They were doing that because it was necessary. You know what I mean? Like they didn't like the dailies, but they were doing them a lot because that was the way the game was designed, you know? But they didn't like it. And it was like instead of listening to community, they were just looking at data. And they had this attitude, and they even said it. There's a famous quote where they're like, you think you want it, you know? And so I think that they were just like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You say you want these things, but no, you don't, because the data says that you do all these things. That doesn't mean they liked them. You know what I mean? And it just got worse and worse. It was like a spiral of Blizzard just kept churning out things that people didn't like. And I think, honestly, the thing that really was, for most of the people in retail that were really into it and played it, you know, as their main MMO, was that every expansion they felt like they had to start over, and it was like they got tired of just the same
Yeah, the
old
rinse repeat.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all your gear is irrelevant. As soon as you ding. Yeah.
Which is a hard problem to get around, you know? Like, it's very difficult. Final Fantasy 14, in my opinion, does that a lot too. They were really bad about it for a while with the, I think they were calling it artifact gear. I might be getting that wrong. It's been a long time. But dude, it would be this massive grind to get it, and then you had this powerful weapon for a couple of months. And then it was a piece of crap. You know, you'd find a random drop on a random mob better. And that just doesn't... It's the same problem that D&D has at high levels that we always talk about. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, so suddenly everywhere I go is somehow more powerful than gods. You know what I mean? Like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, it gets a little bit old at that point.
Yeah.
Did we run the 2 dungeons yesterday? We ran Dan's dungeons yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did do a dungeon, yeah.
Did we do 1 or 2?
I thought we only did 1. That might be
Do you have
wrong.
a preference for where you want to go?
No, I don't care.
Um,
I'm happy with any dungeon you want to do.
Oh, we should drop this and go join the group 1.
Yeah,
I forgot we're in a private call.
That's
I'll
good.
see you over there.
Okay. Hello again.
Probably could just go back to the place. Trying to think. We were there. Or we could. Do you have this quest, Nathan? I don't think you do because we haven't done it yet with the other characters. Well, let's just go back over. Where are we at here? We can just fly over here, Nathan. Go over to the.
That's another problem that retail has that I always forget about because they don't play retail. Retail has tokens. Classic does
Which
not. It's basically
Ultra coins.
I don't know. It's basically I don't know what Lotro coins are. What are they called in EverQuest? Gosh, I'm blanking. Chronos. It's basically Chronos. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And for anybody that struggled with the Paladin, I totally understand. But have you played the Wrath Paladin? The Wrath Paladin's freaking cool, dude. I was struggling a little bit too. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, Paladin's kind of rough in this game. Until the Wrath. As soon as pre-patch hit, dude, that night when I logged on, it absolutely rocked my world. That's when I fell in love with the WoW Classic. Up to that point, I was just like, yeah, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, Red's super fun as well.
Yeah, dude, I've got a Ret, and I love them, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, the Ret Paladin is freaking fun.
Going to Occadin dungeons, I guess. Since we're close to there. I think he did one
Yeah,
of them there,
Tactical
but I can't remember if
Chronos,
Nathan did the other one or not. I'll have to find out.
So tokens, for anybody that's, like, I see so many chats saying they don't understand why they did that. It was a way to say, so all these random people are making money off of selling gold. Why don't we make them obsolete by we can allow people to sell gold within the game? And then, you know what I mean? Like, it was like that. It was that solving a solution by... It'd be like it would be like if you're like, okay, so the mob is running this city in this particular part, so how about the government just makes their own mob that's even more powerful? You know, like, doesn't necessarily make it better, you know, but it's regulated, so it's a little better, I guess.
I totally should have flew in, and I was AFK, tabbed out, answering a question, and ran down the tunnels instead of just flying in.
I'll be trying out Holy Paladin as soon as I save up the gold to be able to dual spec, because this character is going to be Holy / Prot when I can dual
over here
spec.
to the.
It's just expensive.
Are there quests in here for you, Nathan?
I do see one. Whoops, get on the wrong freaking mountain.
In here?
Looks like there's one over, yeah, the direction you're going.
Alright, this is the wrong area, by the way. This is not the one I want.
Okay, so don't get the quest here.
No, because this one leads you to some... I guess it's east. I always forget. North is the one we did yesterday. North is the easy
Right.
one.
Yeah, we did do that one. I think that's the only one we did.
Okay. I just, real quick before we do summons, I wanted to double check which one you hadn't done. Are there quests in here for you?
Yes.
Okay, there are? Perfect.
Yep.
I think this is... Yeah, this is Sethic Halls. Okay, perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna grab these quests. There's 2 of
Yeah,
them.
and then... There should be 2, yeah.
Oops.
Alright, headset off for a minute. I got summons, but I'm gonna have a headset off. I gotta do some exercises before we get going here.
Alright.
I can't attack that target. Excellent.
Check in later. Maybe going to check out this Mario vs. Cyril grand finale for... Oh, for StarCraft 2. Okay. Good deal, man. Thanks for talking, Robert.
Outstanding. Hail to the knight.
God is good indeed. How's it going? Good morning, Grain.
My dear, like I like my
About to run a dungeon.
stout and better.
Gathering for a dungeon run. Halfway to 67 too. Oh, and check this out, guys. If anybody's been following the channel, I've been working on that Winter Spring Frost Saber. I did get up to Honored last night, and I started working on my Darnassus, which I've got to Revered now. So big progress for the Frost Saber Epic Mount. What's the name of the dungeon we're doing? I don't know for info, it might be muted. I don't know.
I don't remember what he said,
Yeah, forgot to.
because we did some last night, but
Alright.
which one did you say we were doing, Ren?
I think we're doing Sethic Halls.
Okay.
I think that was the one he had quests for. Wait, That's the wrong one.
Set the calls. Except for DOC. Yeah, that should be a fun. This should be fun streams.
Two, three, four. Who are we missing?
I got some work stuff. I'm being a little sluggish.
Okay, no worries. I was just waiting. Do a buff.
Yep, just let me know when you guys are ready.
Good to go here.
It's too far away. I can't.
Oh, he miniatured me. Oh my gosh, he miniatured me again. I didn't know you could be shrunk even smaller.
It would be easier to kill the totem instead of me.
Oh, is that what happened? It just automatically went to you.
Well, I think there's
Yeah,
like charm.
I had AoE cleave up, but it wasn't hitting the totem for some reason.
Yeah, my AoEs don't hit the totems either.
I guess it's easier to kill me then.
I'll just target the totems from now on.
Is there a way to cure my super mini? Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, usually gotta find something that excites you, sir.
I'm a grower, not a shower, I swear. Dude, I'm so little. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I didn't even see Nathan. He's so small.
I know. Look at me.
1 second.
I need to get closer.
Is this the way we need to go? No, it's not.
That's the way we'll come out.
Okay.
It's too far away.
Charmed.
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan too.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
I bubbled.
That was my bad. I guess I had to vet stuff. I had to take phone calls. On my way.
Finally back to normal. Turned. Alright. Where you at? You have to target the totems, Richard. Thanks.
Got honor, but we're city.
It's too far away. I don't have a target.
Drink a little mana juice here real quick.
I'm having a wardrobe malfunction. There's me hammer.
Nice. I've not heard that joke before. All right, everybody ready? Yep.
sorry.
It's alright. Darts.
I've never seen darts this whole time I've played the game. It's the first time I've seen darts.
Yeah,
me
they're
too.
pretty common actually.
Huh.
They drop a lot.
One of the quests you have in here, Nathan, is for like, isn't it for like 3 different items? I think you may have to. I think a couple of them are like ground spawn or something. Could be thinking of the wrong dungeon.
Oh, are you thinking of the
I gotta
the
pick
book?
up quill and a mask. I think that's from bosses though, right?
Yeah, well,
That's my only
one of
other
them's
one.
from a,
I just finished
yeah, one of
that
them's a
one.
ground spawn.
Yeah, there's a book in between. I don't remember if it's this one.
Getting close to 70. That's right. Late night grind last night. It's nice. Grats, Richard. Freaking grats, dude. Yeah, how close are you to 70, Renfell, on your mage?
Like 3/4 of the way there with this. So I mean, I'll probably, if I don't get it this morning, I'll get it tomorrow morning or something like that.
Yeah.
Or tonight, because I'll be back tonight playing. Like last night, I tanked 3 dungeons and then I turned it over and let Crinkle tank the Fire Mage. But I'll probably do the same again tonight. Try to run 2 or 3 heroics and then turn around. Play the mage.
I've never done a heroic yet. I'm pretty excited about getting to do stuff like that.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We might not do any here, but we'll definitely be doing it in Wrath.
Yeah.
A decompression run, that's exactly what it was. It's like, I just need to decompress. Get all the tanking out of my system now, I just want to go blow shit up. Honestly, at this point, I'm just... The more I can stream, the better it is, because then I can cut more content together, and... I'm going back and I'm analyzing, like, what did Asmongold do when he was first getting going, like, doing all his content?
That's still
World of Warcraft, things of that nature. I pushed out another Lotro tourism video this morning. And I got another Lotro. Like, I did a quest yesterday in Lord of the Rings Online that I didn't realize was tied to book lore. And I did the battle, and then I went online to pull links for the video, and I found out that it was actually this huge thing that I didn't know anything about.
Oh, how cool.
But yeah, it was actually really interesting. I was like, well, I'll be damned.
They've announced a new expansion, right? Lord of the Rings Online? I thought I saw an article.
It's like a mini...
Oh.
They do like mini expansions
Like story.
now. It's like updates. Yeah, it's like updates that have new... But they've been going... What they're doing now is they're basically just going back in time and doing like the history of Durin. And so you do session play where you play as like one of the old dwarves from years ago, and they're mining the appendices basically.
That's cool.
It's gonna be really interesting what happens now that the Embracer Group bought Tolkien Enterprise, or bought Saul Zaentz Middle Earth Enterprises, because they're a video game company. Even though they're highly interested in producing lots of television and films now, the big part of their announcement was tons of new Lord of the Rings themed video games are going to be on the horizon now. So we're going to see, you know, way more than before in terms of console games, board games, mobile games, games, PC games, VR games. Like, it's gonna be fun. Oh, did you see the announcement for Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
Watch the ghost.
Tears of the
Watch
Kingdom.
the ghost.
Oh yeah, the ghosts.
Oh yeah, I remember now. They kill you. Yeah. Run from. I forgot.
Yeah, we'll have to play the Ghostbusters song after you die.
Oh, it's totally my turn for the Frozen Iceman animation. Vroom vroom. What if that lasts until I do another ice tomb? Ice block, whatever it's called.
Somehow I've got this status effect. I haven't figured out what it does or where I got it, but it's called Haunted. Anybody know anything about that?
Which one is it?
I've had it for a few days. It's like a debuff, maybe? I don't know what it does, but it's called Haunted. It just says, something is with you.
It's from the quest where you have to take the torch to Stormwind.
Oh, I do have a quest in Stormwind. Okay, cool.
You should be getting whispers like, your friends will hate you.
Yeah, I have seen a couple weird stuff like that, yeah.
He's just used to that.
Yeah, it was like, oh, the voices in my head again. Just ignore it. Cringe ponies off the air. Come on now.
Just another day.
One of the reasons I was asking all those questions earlier with you and Sparrow, Nathan, is because I'm genuinely curious, because I constantly see people talk about how they loved Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in the same token, they will then complain about all these things that they don't like about World of Warcraft. So I'm always, because I never played it, so I don't have that. I don't have that negativity of, well, this got changed and that got changed and this got changed and that got changed.
Yeah.
Because I always hear this, oh, this was awesome, this was the best thing ever, etc., etc., etc. Well,
Yeah.
what changed? Because
I'll tell you, there's the easiest way to get the answer is one day when you got some free time, since you pay for the subscription anyway, log into retail. It won't take long, and you'll be like, oh, I see.
well, I mean, I get some of those changes, but the thing that always resonates with me, even though like what we were talking about earlier, even though they may have made those changes for analytical reasons,
Sure.
not the fact is there are still in this case, hundreds of millions of people who have purchased, played, and loved some component of the game at some point in time, and that wouldn't have happened if they made a bad game, which means the changes they made, even if they didn't resonate with everybody, were still good changes for the game.
And the thing is with retail is it takes a couple expansions to actually figure out all the bloat.
Yeah.
And the big issue with retail is they keep making game mechanics that nobody wants. At the end of the day, there's just too much going on that nobody asked for or wants. But like, Legion was awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
BFA was a disaster. First party Shadowlands was awesome. you play retail, it takes a couple expansions, and then you're just like, yeah. And they keep implementing systems that don't work. Ultimately, that's what a lot of people have issues with.
Well, hang on though, and I'm gonna push a button here, so bear with me. A lot of people, I hear people use that phrase a lot. A lot of people. But World of Warcraft still has millions.
Yeah, but
of players.
Asmongold explained this. Some people just can't walk away. They don't know where else to go. So like they
Yeah.
log on, they do their daily, they don't have fun, but they just hope that please Blizzard fix it. You know, like we love the game. We have so many good memories here. I've played this character for freaking, 15 years, etc. So I feel obligated to continue playing because I don't know where else to go. And they do try to go play. They go play Final Fantasy 14. They go play, and they don't get the same feeling from it because they don't have that time investment in it.
And that's true. And believe it or not, I mean, retail WoW has lost 60% of their player base.
Yeah, it's
easy.
Look at the new
more.
stats of like raid content, how many people are actually even trying it, etc. It has dropped off. Like, dude, it's nuts.
I do agree with all of that. However, the one thing I always come back to on the numbers thing is that every game loses those numbers when it first comes out,
you have retention.
But they have 20 some years of
sure,
and it's never been like this ever.
Right.
This is the ultimate low it's ever been.
And where that information comes from, it comes from raiding guilds a lot.
Yeah.
And people doing high-end content, they just, the amount of bloat and mechanics they throw in that nobody really wants. This comes from, and Preach had a really good thing on it before he stopped playing WoW. If you ever watched Preach.
Yeah, Preach is good.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
I'm a virgin to World of Warcraft, so I'm genuinely curious about all this stuff.
Yeah, you can go back and look at some of his stuff. He's really well read. He's been playing. He played WoW for the whole lifetime of the game, and at a very high level, his guild did. And he has a lot of great commentary in it, and it explains stuff really well.
Yeah, and what I like about those people like Preach and and others is that like they're not riding the hate train because when Blizzard does good things, they're the first ones to be like, this is good.
No, he loved the game.
Yeah,
absolutely, he loved it. He was heartbroken when it.
Yeah.
Ultimately he had to leave. And,
there's a lot of noise from the smaller content creators, I would say, of WoW, but those main ones, I can't what's his name? Not Balasar. Can't think of his name, but I actually watch him a lot too. And they're just really pushing to get WoW back on track. And honestly, I'm sheeped. It appears as though with Dragonflight they're gonna maybe. You never know. I think they may pull it off this time. But will they stick with it, or will they continue back with their regular routine? Is the real question.
And they still have WoW, even retail, still has a ton of players that play it.
Yeah.
But from where it was, it's definitely not the king of kings anymore, by a long shot. Now Classic's doing quite well, because, it's a throwback to the old days.
Yeah, especially with the Wrath, it's blowing the heck up. I just saw a bunch of... I didn't watch any, but I see a bunch of videos showing up on my feed saying stuff like, Wrath of Lich King is saving World of Warcraft. There's a bunch of talk like that.
It's true. Look at the queue times on some of those servers.
And they have learned some things from Classic, right? So, like, they redid the new player starting experience in retail. They squished the levels down. I mean, they're learning some... It's not like nothing's gotten better. I think that they're attempting. I think also it's worth noting that nobody is in the same position World of Warcraft is and never has been. So, it is more difficult for Blizzard to solve these mega problems that honestly probably just come with being this old and having this many expansions and still being this popular as opposed to like Final Fantasy 14. Like, it's a little easier for them.
Yeah, and Activision...
And Activision,
the downfall of a lot of systems.
That's a really good point. Yep. Because, like, Square Enix don't have to worry about nothing like that. Like, Square Enix is the boss. Final Fantasy 14 is their cash cow. What Yoshi P says goes. They're in a different culture, too, where if Yoshi P says, we need this in our game, okay, let's do it then. You know, how much money does it cost? Whereas Blizzard has to, like, answer all this stupid investor crap.
Yeah, Activision's more of the bottom line. They're just looking for the monetary gain, really.
Yeah.
You got time for one more, Nathan, or is that? I don't know how much time you
yeah, I've got time. If you guys do. See if I got an upgrade here.
But, you know, I've always come back to this game. I play the old school MMOs, and Classic seems to be in my rotation. I haven't played retail in about 3 years. I did play pretty heavy for a long time, but...
Cool. Yeah, what do you guys want to do now? What's so join a
whichever
new
one
class
you guys
service
want.
starts vanilla? Is that something planned in the future?
Yeah. I've seen if Maduros can come here.
Once a year, yes, Grain. They do a classic server, but it stays classic forever. They just did new
We could definitely
fresh
do one in
start
40 minutes.
servers that are gonna
These are
be.
pretty quick.
They're gonna have wrath.
Yeah, that was... Shit,
If
that
that
was like
makes
25
sense.
minutes, right?
Yeah.
But they also do like the TLP style, like
What's the
EverQuest
next
does once a
rotation
year,
here? Is
with
it
like some new
Labyrinth?
rule sets to make it more hardcore, etc. Or it appears that's how they're gonna do. There's only been 1 year of that, but we assume they'll
Yeah, looks like
they'll do
there's
it again.
quests for it too.
At least I do. Yeah, the Seasons of Mastery. Yes, exactly.
You were supposed
Richard.
to speak Elvish and open
Once
that.
a year, I can see them doing that. Yep.
Melon.
Holly Longdale's on the team, and that's what she does. So, highly likely.
Let me ping him on Discord.
I'm going to top my coffee off real quick. Be right back.
Yeah.
How long does Crinkled Head, did he say? About 40 minutes?
40 minutes.
Yeah. While he's grabbing coffee, I'm going to take a potty break. I'll be right back. Be right back, guys. Don't go nowhere. I'll be back when we run another dungeon. I'll be back in just a second. I'm back. Very true, Eva.
Alright, I actually have 2 quests in here.
Oh, 3 pallies.
Wow.
Pally power.
It's supposed to be 3 death knights at this particular point.
I like
I'll
that
run
as a
shadow
like,
resist.
He was telling me that he was saying the other day that like all the groups right now, it's like 4 death knights and a healer, 4 death knights and a
Yeah.
healer, 3 death knights, a healer, and a tank, 4 death knights and a healer, 3
It's
death knights, a tank,
true.
and a hunter.
Looks like I don't need to line of sight him.
Yeah, but we got one of each pally, so it works out. I'm just passing on everything, so.
No.
I am using Hydra UI. I love it too. Line of sight this guy over here. Maybe. Is he coming?
Oh, they warped.
Oh.
That's still recharging. That's fair. I can't handle
Them big beefy shoulders there, Matt.
Heck yeah, dude.
Cloth shoulders.
It's a lot of cotton they use to stuff those, I think.
Yeah, right.
Poke your eye out,
Dark.
kid.
How many kids are missing their teddy bears because they had to make these shoulders?
Careful with those big guys, Nathan. They will fear us into all the rest of the packs.
Okay, I heard that. Try to grab one and pull him back then. I'm gonna get a little. There we go. Oh, I pulled all them too. I'm gonna pull them all the way back here. Oh, he feared me immediately.
Tried to get a cleanse off sooner, but was a little late.
Oh, really? Gosh.
Can't wait to see what the dungeons are like in Wrath.
Some are pretty awesome, some suck.
Oh, really? There's some that suck. Is it just because you've done them too many times, or you didn't like them from the beginning?
You'll find people don't like the Oculus. Half of it's been riding around on a Drake.
Oh, okay. I've heard people talk about that one, yeah.
Violet Hold is usually one that people don't like going to. The bosses are random.
Their loot tables random with them too, or I mean, like,
Not on the bosses, but the bosses themselves are random. It's a jailbreak kind of event.
okay. Richard says so many tanks skip Oculus.
We're not skipping shit, bro.
Well, they say it's better with a real group like us as opposed to pugging.
That is one benefit we have. There
Yeah.
shall be no pugs.
Let's go pull these stupid mages around.
Well, so there isn't gonna, since there isn't gonna be the dungeon finder, we'll get stuck with it.
Good point. Yeah,
I mean, not
They
that they'll
won't.
get stuck, but they'll just not even go there.
yeah, that just
Yeah,
avoid
let's
it.
ignore it. What does that mean, mana up? Like, I'm not understanding.
Was that what?
I'm reading chat. I really dislike being told to mana up.
They don't like the term, or they just don't like to be told that they need to drink?
That's what I'm asking. I'm
Yeah.
curious. What does that mean?
Probably their bar's too low.
Yeah, they need to drink. It's kind of a weird way of saying it.
I think a lot of people are, Davin. Davin is in my chat saying he says he's gonna miss the Dungeon Finder in Wrath.
Yeah, there's a large community of people who are wanting it. It didn't come at the beginning of Wrath, you know, it was towards the end, so some people say that they think it should be just like that again. I understand their sentiment. I wouldn't cry if it was added, but, you know, I get what they're trying to say. They think that that was one of the small things that hurt the socialization of the game.
Sorry, didn't mean to rip aggro.
It's okay, I'm trying to get him back.
Well, now Sparrow had said that earlier too. That when she was talking about the matchmaker that pulls in people from all communities. I know Maduros has had a very positive experience with it. I've had a positive experience with it. I think that the negative I always hear people claim about the matchmaker is that, well, there's no community. You never talk to people.
It is better without it, though. Like, here's the deal. They have a really good looking for group tool. It's kind of the same thing, except for it keeps it on the server. It's really the only thing.
What I'm getting at, though, is all of those things that people claim is just people. If people want it to be social, it's really easy to type in group and say, "Hey guys, how you doing today?"
Sure.
Don't blame that on the group finder. Like that's not.
There's so many.
I need a quest over here.
There's so many socially awkward people these days that I think just having a tool to help them find a group, but they don't want it to be like so random that it can cross servers, right? So
yeah, I've found that every group finder I've been in, I mean, most of the time the groups are talking. You know what I mean? We're saying hello.
Yeah, I do get the cross-platform, the cross-server thing, because that means, you know, if you do find a really cool group of people and you're not on their server, that does suck. Like,
yeah,
you know.
And Deckhand has found and made friends with so many people. He's a little
what's up, Scott? Yeah, you got gifted that. I think towards the end of last week. I think during the EverQuest stream. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, you sure did, man.
The whole component
I think what's the takeaway? My memory may be wrong, but I think what's the takeaway gifted?
I don't think it helped.
I know he did. Yeah. I think you were one of the ones that got his, if I'm not mistaken.
Double-edged sword, really.
Also,
well, I think this is going to come up on the upcoming podcast because this was brought up. People like to claim that Dungeon Finders
so it came from one of those two.
But what about Discord? Discord's ruins socialization because no one types it.
Yeah, I've heard that argument.
Like,
yep.
No one types anymore in group chat, and therefore socialization is ruined. It's like, no, it's just that socialization moved to what we're doing right now, which is chatting. If you choose to not be a part of that, that's a you problem, not a game problem.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You are actually right. You can be social in retail WoW if you wanted to. You just got to find a guild. You've got to, you got to put forth an effort. And I think that for a lot of people, that effort is, we're just different than some people, and it's hard for me to understand their point of view because I'm not socially awkward at all.
Right.
But
nobody really wants to go back to trying to type in raids or hardcore dungeons. It's just
dude, screw typing. Like, I'm sorry, but
I also don't want to sit there and be like looking for not that this ever happened to me because I was always a social person, but I have no desire to be like looking for group for 45 minutes if I can just plug myself in and in 5 minutes I've got a group. Like I've actually been thinking about doing a social experiment as a video series, which is to go into
thanks for the sub.
Like Star Wars Republic or Retail WoW or another game that uses a dungeon
finder.
I
agree with the Discord's easy.
And the objective being to just find a guild. Just go in. No,
it's not that hard, dude.
Forums.
It's really not. You should do it just to show, and you should do it in multiple games just to prove it wasn't an accident that it happened one time. Because it really isn't that hard. But I think that for some people, and it's once again, it's just one of those things where I just have to believe it because I don't have that problem. You know what I mean? But
and you know what? Even in the group finder, I find that if you're social enough, even the most unsocial people, you'll break them loose a little bit.
Yeah.
Start chatting and having a good time and be social.
Yeah.
They'll loosen up.
They'll loosen up. Yeah.
They really do.
It is true. I think the problem is also things are so fast. Like in retail, you might be in the dungeon for, I'm making it up because I really don't know. I don't play a lot of retail, but like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that for a standard, typical, quick dungeon run. And it's just not enough time. So people are just, you know what I mean? They're rushing through it. They've done it 100 times.
They do a lot of speed runs.
Yeah, they just don't care.
For sure.
They don't got time for that.
I definitely saw, like, when I tried Final Fantasy XIV, before they introduced the changes to the cutscenes, like, a couple years back.
Sure.
When I first tried it, I had a negative experience because people didn't want to wait for me, so I would be watching the cutscene as a new player, and I would finish the cutscene, and all of a sudden, where's the group? Like, the group is, like, already 20 mobs deep because they didn't wait for me to finish the cutscene, and that, you know, led to some people grumbling about, oh, hurry up, you know, why is there a noob in the group, kind of stuff. But I always look at that and say, everyone's had negative experiences in an MMO, but I choose not to let those negative experiences define my 25 years of gameplay.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot, man. Like, you're gonna have negative experiences in the best community in the world. There's, you know, like, there's no way to, like, weed out.
I mean, if people do that in SWTOR too, Ren, right?
Yeah.
The cutscenes. I mean, they want you to, if you've never seen it before, to take a friend through it. They want you to just skip.
I do appreciate Final Fantasy though being like, hey, new players are not having a good time in these dungeons. They want to see what's going on. They miss the boss is dead, you know, before they can even hit escape. You know, they want to see the story. You know, like this is a story-heavy game, and so they just made it to where it's like, hey, if somebody's watching a cutscene, sorry guys, you gotta wait. Like, you're stuck. You wait for them.
And that's why I just, especially when it comes to like Pantheon, like I hear people constantly talking about how they don't want these things in Pantheon because it ruins the game for them. And I'm like, did it really ruin the game for you?
They don't want what things?
Or
I'm sorry, my brain got
little
twisted.
things.
Okay.
Little things like, oh,
Like flying?
like the dungeon finder.
Oh,
Is gonna,
sure.
If they put a dungeon finder in Pantheon, it's going to ruin the game for me. Really?
Well, they can't really do a dungeon finder in Pantheon though, because
Why?
it's not instance dungeons. So they are going to have a looking for group tool, and to be honest, we'll see how it goes. But based on what I've read and watched other people talk about in the beta, they might want to take some ideas from the classic looking for group tool coming. Sounds like it's pretty freaking good.
I mean, instead of dungeons, why not just be looking for a group in zone?
Yeah, that's what it'll be. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, yeah. And some people won't like that. I'm, you know, no matter what you do, you know.
I'm always confused when people make these drastic comments like this thing ruined the game for me, and I'm gonna hate Pantheon if they put it in. And I always feel like those people are. How are you letting in one little thing define your entire game experience? It's a good game.
With that, yeah.
Can you imagine being the developers having to keep? I mean, that group is the hardest MMO group to make happy there is. They've been playing the same MMO for 20 years, 25 years. Man, no thanks. I would literally rip my own hair out.
You can't stay in the past. You have to move forward a little bit.
And they are. Pantheon is. It's moving forward. It's taking what they've learned from EverQuest, what was learned from Vanguard, etc. They're even factoring in WoW Classic. They talk about it all the time, and they're just saying, what would have happened though if the MMO genre would have evolved where public dungeons was still cool, where, you know, sure, maybe the, you know, raid bosses need to be instanced because that just sucks for everybody if we don't. But they're just taking a new approach. Like, what if everybody didn't just copy WoW? You know, what would have happened? You know, not to say WoW didn't do some good things, and obviously I've heard Joppa and Brad McQuaid and everybody mention WoW Classic as a good meter of, like, there was a lot of really good stuff, you know. But there will be the P99, and I'm only picking on them. I love P99. We played every Friday. I'm a big fan. I think it's a lot of fun. But that crowd, I don't think they're going to like Pantheon. It's just, it is a modern game, you know?
Well, I hear a lot of people in the Pantheon Plus community make those types of comments.
I do too. I argue with them about it too, and I'll point out times where the developers have argued the opposite, you know?
Come on, Nathan.
Oh, I'm hurt. I can't do it. I can't do my lay on hands. Come on, let me back.
We were both beating on him.
He's got me stunned.
It's amazing.
Silenced. Okay. Woo. Alright, let's see if I can get him back.
He popped all sorts of my abilities while I was mind controlled. What a bastard. Oh.
Oh my god.
He's on the loose. He's on the loose. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was holding off till you grab thread again.
Oh, he knocked back. This guy's a beast, man. Jeez.
Well, it's partly the
That
level
was
thing
fun.
and the gear thing, but
Yeah.
once you're level 70, you won't have that issue really.
Ooh.
It was fun though.
Oh my god.
The Wand of Netherwing.
You know, it's funny. I was checking around for gear upgrades for Holy Pally.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every piece, it's recommended to get the PvP gear.
Yeah, I have a lot of that too.
Congrats, Sparrow.
That gear is really strong right now.
We had a few months to go before Wrath. I would probably do it, but
Yeah, because I've been saying like really 73, 74, you're going to replace everything
Everything.
up until even Sunwell gear is going to be questionable.
There's also the opposite of what you talked about, Renfeld, too, and I never hear anybody ever talk about it, where, I hate to say this because this is going to upset some people, but, like, it is true. If you search yourself, you'll know this to be true. There's also the people in the Pantheon community that everything's bad until Pantheon does it, and then it's good.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I hate that, and then Pantheon says they're going to do it. They're like, I love that. That's one that cracks me up.
So can I get a King's?
Absolutely.
I forgot to spend my points.
I'm a little sad that Sparrow
Giving
didn't
me
let Bounty
my-
cut her hair, but she's done now.
What now?
So I'm a little sad that she didn't just let Bounty Code cut her hair. I think that could have been good content.
That's easy. You put it in a ponytail, you cut the ponytail off. Done.
That may or may
Yeah.
not have,
Donate it.
that may or may not have happened.
What could go wrong?
One time,
Uh-oh.
Chris and I were flying to the United States for a trip, one of our big, stay up at the ranch for 4 or 5 months. And I can't sleep on planes, and we had like a 3:30 in the morning wake up, so I took a bunch of Valerian route at like 9 p.m. to just like crash out. And she wakes me up at like 11:30 at night. Can you please cut my hair? And I'd cut her hair before in the past, no problems. I was so out of it and sleepy that I literally just grabbed it and like did the loose ponytail with one hand and the scissors straight across with the other hand, and then proceeded to wake up very quickly after that as she started screaming at me because I had just whacked like 4 inches more than she wanted me to cut off, and I had whacked it off with in a ponytail, which is like so bad.
you're still married?
Yeah.
It's a strong. You guys got a strong relationship.
And she
what
even
that means.
feeds him on a regular basis. You know it's bad when they stop feeding you. Then you have an issue.
That's how you know, yeah. That's how my wife
She
lets me know she's mad. She'll come home with food, and I will have none. I'm like, oh well, she's pissed. I'm just gonna sleep on the couch. I'm not even gonna ask any questions.
I feed myself.
Yeah. Yep, she stops cooking, then you go, something's not right.
Or maybe laundry.
Right, yeah.
I must be spoiled.
Hey, Kesha's paintings can make him cry. Oh boy.
I don't think there's too many things that she would cut me off from. The only thing that she's really is like tequila is the one she cuts me off from once in a while. Just you've been.
We did
Drinking
get
more
some,
than a
and she
couple
never.
glasses at
We
night.
got the stuff to make them, and she never even made them. I don't
Alright.
think. Unless they made them real quick.
Living
while
in
I
the
was training
boonies, man.
them.
What else you got
That's
to do?
possible.
Right? Grilling good food,
My favorite.
drinking tequila.
My favorite was when we were dating. She didn't realize that I was a weed smoker, and then it was an item of discussion when we started living together, and to prove a point, I quit smoking for a couple of years to prove that there's nothing, you know, addictive about it. Eventually, that point was made, and I was allowed to go back to smoking. And the funniest thing was the way I got back into it was I was like, well, I just, you know, got a friend, you know, we both knew the friend, and it was like she was offering me some. I was like, let's just be something to relax on a Sunday afternoon, you know. And so I was like, okay. Well, that Sunday afternoon turned into, well, now I'm waking and baking every morning, and then I'm topping off at like 9 a.m. and then I'm topping off at 1 p.m. She's like, I thought you said it was just Sunday mornings. It's like every morning's a Sunday morning, honey.
Yeah.
420 somewhere.
Or it is 420.
I don't know that this stuff nowadays is so strong. I mean, I smoked in high school in the 80s, and I have friends that do it now, and I'm on a DOT dig list, so I can't really. I get drug tested, but oh my god, it's so strong now. It's ridiculous.
I like that because it lasts longer.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, did I pull the boss?
I mean, I can just stand in the room and get wrecked.
I'll get a little mana real quick.
Okay.
Is there a way to pull the little group over there to the left?
No path,
Oh,
right?
they're pathing. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good question about... I honestly think that based on them now being like, we're going to make some changes to make things
I think
classic.
they'll keep going.
I think they'll keep going, and they're just going to change things that they think will make it
up.
better. Yeah, and I think that's just the way it's going to be now. And it'll be
Which
interesting
honestly for
to
me
see.
it's gonna be fine for me, because we've got another 4 or 5 years until Panthan gets here. So
Yeah. Now, I'd like to say before I make this comment that even though I make jokes about this, I don't actually care about this particular thing, but I know a lot of people do. What if they got to Mists of Pandaria and they didn't add pandas? Because that was overall people hated it. So like that would be hilarious.
And Mist was actually a good expansion.
The quests
People
were really fun, for one thing.
They didn't like the pandas, but Mist as a whole was a really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
it added that card
The raids
game
are
too,
really
right?
good too.
Yep, the raids, the quest, everything, and people just had an issue with the pandas. So.
Or I say card game. It's
You
a
got
pet
a
collection,
lot of
so it's
lore.
fun.
You go back to what's his guts? It's up in that little library.
Yeah.
Cho.
Yeah, Cho. And you know, pandas need love too, so it is what it is.
And you pick a book off the wall and it starts a quest. It's a big lore dump quest. And there's like 10 of them, and there's an achievement to do them all.
Yeah, that expansion as a whole was good.
So you have to move them away from the Void Walkers, right?
Yep. Yeah, you get a little bit of that AoE splash damage.
Oh, whoa.
Read on if you dare.
So just go back and forth forever. Tetsu says, I feel they're going to try to go for Cataclysm. That's going to bomb because everyone wanted Wrath. And it ends there with most of the population on Wrath servers. Yeah, how do you guys feel about that?
what's the question? Or what was the statement?
Is it like they'll continue on with Cataclysm, but that'll be the end of Classic being popular? What do you guys think?
I mean, it might be, but here's the reality: if they're still pulling in 2 to 3 million subs,
Yeah, they're fine.
they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? they're keeping employees employed. And
Yeah, they should.
But is Cataclysm technically classic? Because the world changes so much, right?
Yeah, that's
So
what makes it weird. Or do they just change the rules and make it?
Yeah, maybe.
Make
Because
it
at
still
that
feel
point,
classic.
it's not really classic. The continents change, right, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Cataclysm is the beginning of a new story arc.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Wrath
weird
is
to.
the end
You're
of-
right. It's weird to call that classic because you changed the world.
It changes.
How's
so
that classic? You know, I don't know. It's weird. It's gonna be weird. I don't know. But I think they will. I do actually think they're gonna continue on. And do you leave? Because that's their other things. They want to split the communities up. Do you leave Wrath servers?
And technically, Cataclysm, by people's definition, was their least favorite expansion for a lot of people.
Their
If I had to
least
guess,
favorite.
what they would end up doing is they would leave all classic servers at Wrath of the Lich King, and then have the branch off be Cataclysm, kind of like the way it is now. Wrath is the branch off, but they're
didn't know
keeping
that
classic servers, some vanilla servers open. Only the TBC servers switched to Wrath of the Lich
Yeah,
King. I would
yeah.
anticipate that's how they would do it for Cataclysm.
what it
is
seems
everything that's a quote-unquote classic would remain on Wrath of the Lich King, and then the new servers would go to Cata.
Yeah,
That makes sense. That actually does make a lot of sense. You're keeping the majority
I'm mind
people
controlled.
happy.
Healer's mind controlled.
Okay, I heard that. Stunned.
You really need to make that mouse over cleanse purge macro. That thing's really handy.
I love it in EQ2. It's just built in. Somebody's got a thing on them, you just click it.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yeah, you gotta make a macro for it, or get an add-on, or both, whatever.
I think that charm
Need
was
mana?
actually channeled.
Do you want to get mana first, Maduros?
Yep,
Okay.
need mana after a res.
Oh, sorry, shit. Had to been the shoulders.
My least favorite expansion actually is Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, WAD. Yeah, that was a.
That was garbage.
Yeah.
The raids were good, but that was about it. Like everybody up until that point was like they wanted housing, and what did they do?
Yeah. That was a disappointment. I was excited about that.
They gave garrisons.
Like
a half-baked attempt.
Fan of that. Yeah, I agree, man. I didn't really care for the garrison. I mean, I don't know. To each their own, I guess, really. Oh, grats.
Oh, somebody's 70 on their mage.
Oh yeah, that happened
Oh,
like back
nice.
at the spy turn in. That was a while ago. Thank you.
I was Nathan, yeah.
Yeah, I leveled up 67.
Oh, great.
Oh,
I'm out of range.
Can I pull them, or is it gonna do the whole?
You're
giant-
good.
You can pull.
Yeah, the boss is separate.
Okay.
Yep. Now I just gotta get the hunter.
So when he does his
Thanks, Phil.
AoE, Nathan, it goes to the center of that little raised ring. So if you run outside of that, you're good.
Okay, so I should pull them near it
Well, he
so I
won't.
can get out
He won't
quicker.
move.
He's static, but
Oh, gotcha.
when the
Okay.
time comes, if you run to right here, you're safe.
Does he do any? Do I need to turn him away from the group, or does that matter in this fight?
Nah.
It doesn't. Okay, I'm just gonna fight him head on then. That way.
Yeah, it's just the one AOE, and you'll notice like Sonic Boom, I think is what it's called, and it'll start doing like a blue flashy thing, like an AOE point blank, and you just run out of range, and you'll
Just get out of this little barrier right here. and you're
Sonic
Gotcha.
Boom.
Sonic.
And he does bark people, and they go up in here. But otherwise,
Okay.
yeah. If you get marked, stay away from others.
Oh, jeez, it's hard.
There it is.
I didn't make it.
I'm silenced.
You some bitch.
He's doing it again.
Oh my god.
Dang it.
Use my lay on hand. Oh my gosh.
Robe of Oblivion.
Oh, you got double row.
Alright,
One
that
is
one's
a,
a healer robe. The Oblivion's a caster.
One's the necro, the
That's-
Oblivion's necro. Or not necro.
Are there
Warlock.
Warlock.
I mean, the set's Warlock, but
Killed the world
Yeah,
more
no,
than
the
Grim
stats are
Thunder.
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
housing can
sure.
do that too. That is a problem with housing, in my
what's
opinion.
up, Chris?
I think it did that for
So they're
everybody
both
too,
like
as
a
well.
40% upgrade.
They just will change. I won't. It's hard to say, but I won't.
That's
We
a
won't
big
be.
upgrade.
I'll have a little bit more freedom on what I stream in the morning.
Dude, they even look
Um,
cool too.
Yeah, so I don't know, Grain, but it will change the schedule of streaming for sure.
Well, now I'm matching at least.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, not too shabby.
Need to find something to slot in these pants and that robe. Oh, that was everybody.
Yeah, he just looks so beefy mad.
Exorcist. What does that help with, Richard? What were you referring to? Sad no more zombie plague in cities. Yeah, they ended that too soon. Does anybody know why they did that? Why they ended the zombie plague event so quickly? Was that an accident? Because I saw they put out an official explanation was that over 15 years Azerothian medicine has come so far. But
I think it's because people was complaining so much.
they're complaining.
Well, the official post is that they had similar issues with events in Classic. Basically, they're running on a newer version. So, when Wrath first came out, they were on pre-patch was 3.0. We're on 3.4.
Right.
So that caused some issues with the 15-year-old event that caused it to end early, but then they decided to just leave it ended early because people were complaining.
Nice, I'll look into that, Richard. That's what he was talking about earlier.
I know a lot of people were upset that they couldn't progress their characters.
Yeah, and Auction House they were getting
Auction
slaughtered, and
stuff.
it was cool though. But I get it, I guess. I thought the
would like
explanation
to-
was funny.
Graham had a question I want to answer real quick, Nathan. What's the plan for streams after 70? Well, once we're at 70, which still a little bit there for the static group characters. There's heroic dungeons and quests and gear
Sure.
grinds. But Wrath is literally 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's almost time
not
for Wrath. Yeah.
Those static group characters aren't going to be 70. They maybe get there by the end of the week, but more than likely it's going to be next mid to end of next week before everybody's 70, and then
a few days after that, Wrath launches.
Yeah.
So
it'll change my routine for streaming, but
right.
But I am maining this game, so
Oh yeah.
you know, I'll be streaming it a lot. But it'll change my schedule. Like, you know, some mornings I may not stream WoW in the morning. I may stream Vanguard. I may stream Dark Age because I'm starting that this weekend. It'll change up a bit, but the majority of my content now live will be WoW Classic. I mean, I love it, dude. And I'm telling you, like, I am a old school fanatic. I consider this old school. How long ago did this come out again?
2010.
2010. So it's been 12 years. So
Classic came out in 04, but Wrath dropped in 10.
That's what I meant. Yeah. I considered this old school, and I didn't until I started playing it. Now I do. It does have the good feels if you like old school games. I mean, Renfel's about as old school as it comes for MMOs, to be honest. Like, every game Renfell likes is an old school MMO. And he's fallen in love too, so I know I'm not crazy. I might just think I was crazy if I didn't have Renfell also feeling the same way.
I listened to the rhetoric of people for 20 years, 20 plus years, throughout all these other games that I've played. EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, Star Wars: Old Republic, the Stargate Alpha, you know, Lord of the Rings Online, and all I've ever heard is that World of Warcraft is full of toxic assholes. World of Warcraft sucks. World of Warcraft is easy mode. World of Warcraft is this, that, and the other. 100%. All I ever heard from the community that I've played with has been negative, 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 negative. So I've never really been that interested, because even though there were all these people playing, the people that and again, you are the people you surround yourself with, confirmation bias, all of that stuff, I very much bought into that mentality. Well, World of Warcraft Classic World of Warcraft must suck because all the people in my community and circle of friends are saying it sucks. Then I tried it, and they're all fucking liars.
or they're just not playing it in a way that is sustainable for themselves, right?
Or they've allowed one little negative aspect to define their entire MMORPG career, and that's something that doesn't affect me. I don't have that issue, that problem.
But what's weird to me about that point of view is I've had a lot of negative experiences in EverQuest too, but it didn't detract me.
I've had way more negative experiences in EverQuest.
Yeah.
And yet I still love EverQuest.
I still love it, yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like everyone wants to talk about, like, oh, so many people, ninja looters were a problem in EverQuest. No, they weren't. In 7 years of EverQuest, I was ninja looted one time. Yet if you go to a forum or if you go to Reddit, all anyone wants to talk about is how, when it comes to player reputation, it's because of ninja looters. We need to be able to make ninja looters be punished for their crimes. It's like, one time in 7 years did that happen to me. It didn't ever happen to any of my friends at all, just to me one time. Never happened to any of our guilds. And once they introduced a loot system by which you could do need before greed and click a button and roll a loot for yourself, that went out the window. And then the other one was, oh, kill stealers, people who kill stealed. Again, 7 years. That happened one time in 7 years. It never happened again to me. It's like the two main things that people talk about, like horrible things in EverQuest 1, I had it happen a couple of times. Camp stealing, that was definitely something. But honestly, that's the reason why games moved to phasing, to instancing, and every single MMORPG on the face of the planet got rid of the camp policy being a part of the terms of service and officially said there are no longer camps, because it's a customer service nightmare to try to define who was there first, who pulled first. Now we got to go through the logs, who actually landed the first blow, who did this, and they moved it to a system of, instead of he who tags it or he who does the most point of damage, everyone gets credit. Now there's no more fighting, there's no more issues, there's no more customer service support needed because everyone gets credit for things. So all of these things that people talk about, I did see some of those things in EverQuest, but I played EverQuest so many years. Yeah, I had negative experiences, but I still think that I had a lot of fun in EverQuest, and I don't let those handful of things define my existence. That's the issue I have when I hear people getting up in arms about how they had all these negative experiences. And the other one was people who say that I had to wait 3 hours to find a group. Then you weren't trying hard enough. Like forums, if you never heard of them.
Yeah, it can be done. Like I say, there's not a single MMO you can't have a social experience in. Problem is how far away from the game do you have to go to get it? You know what I mean? I think that's more the problem. I think the Classic is trying to solve that. That's what made me decide, okay, I'm definitely going to be playing Wrath then. Was the LFG's tool versus the looking for dungeon, because I do believe in that. I know that you kind of don't, Renfell, but I do, because me and my wife we met hundreds of people in 14, and I fell in love with that game. And as soon as they introduced, because I wasn't here when they introduced it in WoW, but as soon as they introduced the cross-server looking for dungeon tool, we maybe made a handful of friends the years later, comparative to, like, dude, we were just, shouting out, looking for people to join, looking for DPS, looking for this and that. And we met so many people, and we'd do the same dungeons over and over. And then we'd go do world content together, et cetera, et cetera. Then we'd join guilds together. And it was like, dude, we met so many people. It's nuts. And those same people we met during that time is who we played with for the rest of the time we played the game. But we didn't make... It was just like, you queue up for a dungeon, man, and they're on different servers. And it's just like... And in 14, people are generally super nice. And you say hello, and... good job, and you give everybody the commendations at the end, etc. But, like, dude, the bond and, like, meeting people died with the Dungeon Finder. Absolutely died. So they're not doing that with the Classic, it looks like.
I mean,
they may change their mind down the road, but...
I'll buy the cross-server aspect of it. I do. But no one's ever going to convince me that it won't work on a same server environment, because I've seen it work.
No, I wouldn't argue that. I wouldn't.
And I think anybody who claims that it kills socialization, I don't buy that argument at all. I just don't. I will flat out agree to disagree on that, because if the only thing holding you back from being social with someone is a group finder, then you're not really being a social person. Like, it's so easy to open up the chat bar and say, "Hi guys, how you doing? Do you guys have a guild I could join?" I'm totally going to make a video about this and prove my point and show people how easy it is to find good groups and good guilds and good community with these dungeon finders in these other games. The limitation being, of course, cross server. That sucks, because if you do find a good group and they're not on your server and you're already level 40, I don't want to go level up another tune on their server just because they're a good group of people.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pay $20 to transfer my character.
Exactly. Mega servers are the solution to that.
Yes.
But if you have a mega server, I'm sorry guys, but you're gonna have phasing. There's gonna have to be to let the game be stable. So if you don't like phasing, then you can't like mega servers, because that's...
What's the issue people have with phasing?
I'm not 100% sure. I just know that people don't like it. I know it's aggravating when... That's from my personal experience, I just think it's aggravating when the game doesn't recognize I'm in a group, so obviously puts in the same freaking phase. When you don't get to pick... Like, in EverQuest, you get to pick, right? Like, 1, 2, 3, you can talk and be like, hey, we're all going to... But in a lot of the phasing games, like Elder Scrolls Online, which it does a fairly decent job, but, like... you'll just be in a group, you'll zone over or whatever, and you're not in the same instance, and it's like not easy to switch. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, most of the time I've seen that it's been really easy to just right click on someone's name and you can go to their instance.
Right. It's just
So
kind
I'd
of.
say
I'd say it's a mild inconvenience,
non-argument.
but there are problems with it. I just don't know what they are. Something about people swapping to take the names or camp. I really don't know. I've never been that involved, and I've never played a game that had it for long enough to really see the problems with it.
Well, because the only one I can see that people have a legitimate concern about would be, oh, it puts me in a different instance. And I'm like, yeah, but every game that has it allows you to right-click on your friend's name and go to their instance. So that's a non-issue.
That's what I would think. I don't know. I know that there must be a problem because people like Asmongold complain about it. I just don't know what they are. I can see the problem on a PvP server, but on PvE I don't know. I've thought about that long and hard, and I can't figure out what the issue is. Yeah, own server Dungeon Finder is a totally different. There's a reason why they don't think that would be valid, though, and I think it has to do with populations on different servers. They think that the problem is, and this is kind of true, if a system's in a game, people are going to use it. Period. It just is what it is. You can argue, well, you don't have to, but you're going to, right? Like, it just is what it is. Because otherwise, you're at a disadvantage to all the other players, etc. So I think maybe the thought process is that, like, some of the servers don't do as good, or like, say you play Horde on this server, for example, very low population compared to Alliance. It's going to be hard to get. It's going to take way longer for that Dungeon Finder. I don't know. It seems like it's going to be harder to do things no matter what. If in that situation, so I don't understand, but.
Yeah, I'm. This is why I'm genuinely looking forward to having greater conversations as we wind towards the new show, because I think a lot of the issues that people carry with them are just baggage that they've refused to look. It's going to be good therapy for a lot of people, I think, to get rid of that baggage and shed some of the things that have been holding them back from really enjoying games to their fullest, I think.
Yeah, and I think the quest phasing, that's a different conversation, but that is annoying because, like, we were playing ESO, you know, we were leveling up, so I was, you know, in between streams doing random quests. Well, the quest that we decided was a really cool quest to do for the stream where we did the overworld quest content, I'd already done it just by random chances, one of the quests I did. So, like, because of the quest phasing, I literally just had to sit there and wait, like, the whole stream. Because I could, in my phase, the problem was already solved. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't quest with them. They just vanished, and they were in a different phase than me. And there's nothing I could do about it because in my storyline, I'd already resolved that issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even Lord of the Rings has that problem to a small degree, because my brother and I have done things in the past where I can be on a different phase and you're running through the same zone and he doesn't see the NPCs that I see because I'm further along the quest line than him.
Yep.
It's not, they don't use it very often, but they do occasionally.
The problem with some of the systems, though, in MMOs, a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth from it being crappily implemented, right?
It could be.
Because I know, like, the phasing thing, for example, I can think of, I don't even remember the name of that piece of crap we played. It was one of the Unchained. What was that game? Blessed? It's not, whatever that new one was called.
Bless Unleashed.
Bless Unleashed, thank you. What a piece of crap. That had phasing, and it was awful. Like, dude, we couldn't even figure out how to switch phases, and it would just plop you in random ones. Didn't matter if you're in a group, you know. Gosh, it was awful. But that's bad implementation.
Davin in my YouTube had a really good comment I want to bring up. He says, many of the people that end up leaving and complaining about toxicity in WoW, as an example, are players that didn't have a community to help diffuse their toxic experience. That's a very good point. Maybe they didn't have a community to help diffuse that toxic experience. So they went away in a solo environment and went, that thing happened. I don't have anybody to vent to. I don't have anybody to work through this problem with. And now I've gone away, and this thing is going to eat at me like a chip on my shoulder because I didn't have somebody to help diffuse the situation. Or maybe, and this is going to be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, maybe they were the ones that instigated or invited the toxicity, which might be the reason more often than not. And that's a good point, because how many times have we talked about the fact that, as an example with kill stealing, well, who really was there first, you know, and who landed the spell first? I mean, there's a 1,000 variables, whether it's lag on someone's machine or things that you don't know that other person even saw you on the screen. Maybe your chat didn't come through. Maybe they didn't have OOC turned on. Maybe they've got shout turned off. Like, there's a million variables that can go into someone doing something that you perceive as offensive or toxic, and it might not have been that way at all, but because you're perceiving it as toxic, you're carrying it with you as though it was toxic behavior, when in reality maybe you're the person who was just inventing the toxicity in the first place. These are both brilliant conversation points, I think.
Yeah, and Sparrow has a good point here too, where like people have different opinions based on their own experience, our experiences are wildly different, like we were talking about earlier, just because of the way we are. We don't see the social scene the same way as other people do. I've just never had a problem with social situations. There are people that I don't like to be around, but I just don't go around those particular types of people. You know what I mean? So that's as close as I've ever got to where I can compare. Because there's people out there, and a lot of them, and it's growing rapidly, who just don't like to be social. So they want the game to have systems in place so they can, because they want to be social, they just can't for some reason. And they want those systems to be in place so they can be, and it's built into the game so they don't feel awkward about it. I think is the problem. It's a guy who doesn't have the problem trying to figure out the problem.
I see what you mean, like a tool to help their social skill, a tool to help make up for their lack of social
anxiety,
skills.
maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge that because, once again, I can go out and dress like Donnie Doodles and run through my own neighborhood and wave at my neighbors, and I just don't care. If they have a problem, they'll ask me what I was doing. I'll tell them I was making a YouTube video, and it's comedy, and, who cares? And if they don't ask a question, they think I'm a weirdo, who cares? That's funny. That's
Or
funny.
you just say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like, what? Oh, that must have been somebody else.
I was doing what? I don't remember that.
You gonna believe me or your lying eyes?
Lying eyes. That's awesome. I think likes and
Except
dislikes are fine. People do have different likes and dislikes,
Sure.
but at the same time, there's one of the ones I always love to fall back on is there's science fact and then there's science opinion, and one of the best parts of being able to have open conversations is being able to get to the facts of a matter
Sure.
and strip opinion away from it, so that you can analyze the factual evidence. And once you've analyzed the factual evidence, more often than not, people will generally allow their opinions to be changed when they've analyzed the facts down to the granular level. And that's why I love having conversations like this, because we've all of us at the table have had our opinions swayed in one way or the other over the past 3 months, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years because of factual data.
Sure.
So opinions, everybody does have likes and dislikes, and those opinions are defined by our personal experiences, but being able to and being willing to have conversations about things and analyze the facts versus the opinions, and then being willing to change our minds on things, I think that's one of the reasons I love having good debates.
Yeah, you have to be able to understand that there is even if you don't agree with it, that there is another point of view, even if you can't understand it. Like the social thing, I don't understand it, but I know it's real, so.
Well, I would argue that Chris, if Chris was if Chris played MMORPGs by herself, I guarantee that Chris would not be a social person. She would very much be one of those people who would probably have a hard time finding a guild, have a hard time finding groups, unless she had the tools to help guide her to find the group, to find the guild. Whereas I'm very much, no one's talking in OOC, well, I'll go to the fucking forums, or I'll go to Reddit, or I'll go find the official Discord server for the game that I'm playing, and I will find people that play in my time zone, and boom, I'll have a group in 48 hours.
Right.
But that's the difference, I think, between people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
David said, simple way to work on your social skills. Just say, hi, damn it, I was homeschooled and I figured that much out.
You're too funny.
All right, I should go to bed. I've been up since 3 o'clock, and I gotta be back.
Yeah, there are just straight up toxic people too, Richard.
Thank you for the good times, the good chat, good groups. Can't wait to see Sparrow's new haircut.
Yep.
He's gonna try to tell us that Bounty didn't do it, but I don't know. I think Bounty I think Bounty did it.
He's just a professional, it turns out.
He's just not going to tell us.
It'll depend on our reaction on who.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, true. That's a good way to do it, actually.
All right, we'll catch you guys tonight when I get back around.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Great day, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care.
All right, guys. I'm gonna call it. We're coming up on 12. I'm gonna call it for my World of Warcraft stream. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm trying out a new thing where I'm doing like a YouTube offers a small edit because it takes a while for the streams to process to a video. But it offers a small edit when as soon as I end the live stream, where I can basically do I can squish it a little bit from like beginning or end at least. So I'm still experimenting around with that so I can make quick edits that are a little shorter and they're more compact of the actual content. So like for today's stream, I'll likely squish that down to just be the dungeon and our conversation we had here at the end, because that was a pretty good MMO conversation. And squish out all the extra fluff of us like getting together and all that kind of thing. And then it posts it as a separate video. So the full live stream is still up, but it also posts a squished version of it, which for now, with my time frame, is about as good as I can do for editing every stream. But I am hoping with Cringe Pony off season here a bit, I can have time to take my favorite streams and squish those down to about 15 minutes for people that can't, don't have the time to sit and watch an hour, 30, 40, 45 minutes, etc. So that's going to be something I'm going to be trying on the channel, see how it does. And yeah, I'm going to be a sad bird when I can't fly and ride for a time. Yeah, Sparrow's going to be, I am looking forward to it. I like flying because it's very convenient for this game, and I can quest easy, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not enjoying it, because I am. But I'm also looking forward to being back on the ground and having to explore and actually, work my way through the content, not be able to skip right over every bad guy, etc. And we'll need it too, because I'm hoping that the experience will need those kills, right? That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see, so much better than flying mounts. I prefer my druid for gathering. Is there a P99 Discord for finding groups like you were talking about? I'm sure there is. I will have to look into that, Scott Beeler, and see where the best. There is I'm pretty sure there's an official P99 Discord. If I can find it, I'll link it. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure there is. Yes, there is. I'm going to link that right now. There's a crap ton of people on here. Give me a second. I'll get a link for you. I'm getting it now. I'm in so many Discords. It's absolutely nuts. Let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Nope. That's not it. I'm in too many Discords here. There it is. Alright, I'll get a link in the chat here for anybody that might want it. Here we go. There's the link to the official, which will probably be the best. Yeah, Cringe Pony did have I had my season finale last Saturday. It's up on the channel. Actually, that one's posted as a video on my channel as well as the full live stream. I did both for that one. That was when I actually realized I could do that, was that night. I'm not a butterfly. I like small groups of people whom I play with. I mean, I think we're all like that to a degree. So, like, obviously, the group I've been playing with Rimfell, Sparrow, Bounty Code, even my Pantheon Plus group, Drac, Theric, Desrin, all those people, I would say that I'm more comfortable playing with them because I know their personality. I think that comes down to more of being like, I know that those people know me well enough, and I feel like I know them well enough to where we can make jokes and I know where the line is, or at least I think that I do. I think for me, that's where that kind of comes into play. But I also just do really like just getting in a random group of some random people that I've never met before. It's a little scarier on stream because they might say something, you know, that I would have to, like, cut the stream and, like, you know what I mean, so that it doesn't get me in any trouble. It's a little scary for that, I guess, but I really do just enjoy meeting new people, and I think that's one of the joys of being a content creator. There's always new people coming into chat. You're always meeting new people. You know, I think that's why I like streaming, actually, is the same reason I like MMOs. I just love, I mean, look at all these people right here. Like, out of all the people standing in Stormwind, there's probably at least 20 people here at minimum that I would probably think was cool. Maybe more. It might be a little low. I might have lowballed that. But I'm just saying, you know, like, that excites me. I think that's why I like MMOs, is it's just like all these other people. And obviously we have something in common, right? Because we're all playing World of Warcraft Classic, excited about Wrath. So I think that's just really cool that we found a hobby that guarantees us to be around other people that like the same things we do. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of situations. You usually have to, like, join a club or something to do that as an adult, whereas MMOs offer that as part of the package. And I think that's really freaking cool. I think that's one of the reasons I like MMOs so much. But anyway, enough ranting. Hopefully everybody had a great time with the stream. I will be back. Today's Wednesday, so it's time this evening for me and Steve's MMO Tourist Show, which we're doing another weird one. So come join us as we try Dragon Ball Online, which has never even been released in English. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, in America, in North America. However, fans have made a translation patch for it, is what I understand. And we're going to be playing that today in our full tourist outfits, and it should be a lot of fun. Steve is a hoot, so come back for that. That's going to go live at about probably 5:30 p.m. Central is what I'm thinking, by 6 p.m. Central for sure, 7 p.m. Eastern for the MMO Tourist Show tonight. And I'm going to edit some videos and work on the Choose Your Own Adventure. If you haven't played my old Choose Your Own Adventures on the channel, just literally search for D&D, or Dungeons and Dragons Choose Your Own Adventure. You're going to find my puppet adventure, where you can play a whole Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I'm doing a new one, a new campaign, and I'm working on it. Mostly just making puppets at this point. So I'm going to work on that as well. But guys, have a great day. Hopefully you come back for MMO Tourist this evening. And until next time, my friends, God bless and happy gaming. Bye, everybody.